So this is Jet. We just got the end of the season in October. We got him at our finals in Ancaster. We tried him. I really liked him, and he was originally supposed to be a project for my mom. I was gonna be selling the horse that she was gonna take over. So the horse Red Jamie, if you remember him, I ran him as a futurity horse and last year as a derby horse, and I kind of figured as far as like my own like financial decisions went and also just the horse that he really wasn't going to be quite enough what we were looking for. Like he would be a great youth horse, I felt, and he just didn't really have, I didn't think, enough to be a horse that we would keep long term. So when I talked to my mom about that, because she was going to take him over, I was like, I don't know if he like should stay. Like I think maybe we're better off getting a project that might have a bit more potential, like as far as being an actual 1D horse than he was. So we started looking around, and literally when we actually decided to get a horse, this guy was posted on Facebook, and it was kind of perfect because Jet, this guy, we call him Jet, he was local. We were able to try him at a show that was really close for us, and he just kind of seemed to have, for me anyways, why I'm the one that tried him. I rode him, and like she was gonna get it for her, but then it's like, oh Shelb, like you get on him, and then I get on him, and I'm like, ooh, he's really nice. Maybe I want to ride him. And that's kind of what happened with him, is that I, like I said, I gave up the red horse, so I stopped riding. I didn't have him anymore, and I just have my 2-year-old, who's now a 3-year-old that I'm started and working with, and that's fine. And I was honestly okay with that because I did just have a baby. Well, I didn't just have her, it was about a year ago. So I've been really busy with that, and I was like, I don't even know if I want a horse. And when we tried him, I was like, okay, he's actually like, he's quite nice. I really liked him when I got on him. I knew he needed just some work to make him fit us a bit more. Basically, the goal with him is see what he can do. If he's going to stay long term, he has to kind of earn his keep in that sense. And that means like, actually being a 1D horse, making money, making me look good or making my mom look good. But as I was saying, he was kind of bought for her. I tried him, but I really liked him. And since I actually kind of cleared up my plate selling the red horse, I was like, well, maybe I just like feel like I can't help myself. I'm like, I see a nice horse, and I'm like, I want to work with him. Like, I want to play with him. So like, I've been the only one that's really ridden him. And actually, so I'm gonna show you my ride later. The last time I rode him was Wednesday. Today's Saturday. Is that true? So we had 3 days off. Wow. It's been tough because I'm house sitting the farm right now, and so it's really hard to like house sit, take care of everything, and also have like a 1-year-old as well. So I'm like, you know what, it's winter, it's fine, they can have a few days off. But yeah, so last time I rode him was on Wednesday at Ancaster. They have barrel night, so I took him, and it was really good to do that because I've been working a lot in our smaller arena, working on stuff, but it's really good to get out there and just really test the work and see what's going well and what we need to work on. So I went by myself, so there's no videos of that, but what happened in my ride in Ancaster is that he did really good at a lope when I was able to hold him together, like a lot better setting bringing his weight on his hind end, coming around the barrel, just using himself more athletically. Like I was really happy with that because that's something that he kind of struggled with, is just like gathering himself. So that was really nice. I went through it a little bit faster as well, and at higher speed I didn't have a whole lot of rate, especially on my second and especially on my third, so my 2 lefts, not a whole lot of rate. And I'm honestly almost thinking, I'm like, what if he's going to be more of like a left-handed horse? Like I haven't really played with him that way yet, but I'm like, what if he might be better left-handed? Because I feel like his first barrel is getting really nice. His second and third, it's just probably a bit of old habits as well. He ran as a futurity horse last year, and now it's like the things that maybe he acquired, just muscle memory, any habits, and just like how he uses himself is a bit more ingrained. So I'm having to kind of work backwards a little bit, which is fine, but it takes maybe a little bit longer to get that figured out. The saddle pad I'm using on him is a 1-inch Unity pad. I actually have a whole video reviewing the saddle pads and the saddle I use on it with that pad and on him. And I had two options for a saddle. The one being, well, they're both double J's. The one was a standard that I thought would be good because he has quite a big fin on him. And I was like, yeah, it fits okay. But at the same time, the standard, I felt it didn't really give him room to grow. So I didn't really like that because I want him to have space in his back that he can move. If a saddle's too tight, then it's restricting them from like developing more. Where I wanted him to fill out his back a little bit more because I felt like his top line needed a little bit of more muscle than just fitness and strength. So I thought maybe I'll go with this wide double J, which I have on him right now, and I figured that it would give him just a little bit more room. I do need the thicker pad, but I just kind of felt like it wasn't as restrictive on his back. That was my thought process behind using this, and it seems to sit on him pretty nicely. I enjoy it, so that's what we're going to use right now until maybe I'll get a saddle fitter out and we'll see where he's at, because he has gained a lot of weight since we've had him, and I've been working on pretty good on just strengthening, getting him to use his core and his back, and he actually, like, his posture's changed quite a lot. For a bit, none of these ones. Well, I can show you actually like what I have used on him. And I mean, I've only had him a month, but I have played around with some different stuff. So I have this little like banana type bit. There is an official brand. It is like called the Banana Bit. I forget who makes it. This is just a knockoff. I assure you, like, it was like $40 somewhere. And I'm like, this is actually perfect. Like, I really like it. I don't use a chin strap. It's just sitting there, and it's really nice bit. It's a 2-piece with the fat twist. So it's pretty forgiving, but I just liked it for like collection. I think it does a good job. Hi, Tanner.
Oh, no, no, it's okay. Ah.
You want to see Jet? Here, turn her towards her. So I'm going to finish because Max, this is my boyfriend, and my daughter Tanner, and he keeps wanting to get some recognition for the bits that I've been using. So this one is actually his, and it was literally sitting in our apartment on like our bookshelf as a book stopper, and I was telling him, because I tell him after every ride, like, I like to give a thorough explanation of how my rides went, and he's like, why don't you try this? And we're literally ready to leave our place, and I looked at him like, maybe I will try that. I don't have many things like that are like solid without any movement or gag at all that are like shanked. I did use it and it was quite nice. He didn't like it at first, probably just because it is very like, it's very reactive. It's very like come here right now type, even though it's really not that harsh. So I like that, but I wasn't sure if it's something I want to run in. So then I have this, which is almost kind of the same, but it just has a gag. So this is a Professional Choice, one of the Brittany Posey bits. I think they call it their Futurity bit, and it's literally like a 3-piece with a bit of gag. And I have been using this. I feel like it might not be enough. He likes to kind of just get a little pushy on it, which I don't love. Where I found this one, he really didn't get pushy. So maybe today I'll actually try this. Thanks, Max. As always, I like to do up the saddle, walk a little bit, and then get on. I decided to go with a bit I have been using already, the Professional Choice one. I did tighten the chin strap though. Figured maybe instead of changing the bit, I'll just make some subtle adjustments there. I also like to get on the other side and get off on the other side. I just like to mix it up. I'm a little maybe OCD about balance. It's like I just like to always keep things equal. If I do it one way, I'll do it the other just as much. I don't know, just because there's a rule that says so, it's like, well, who actually says? Like, why? Why is it the rule that you have to get on the left? Like, you know what I mean? Doesn't really make sense. So after my ride on Wednesday, I found I needed to work on straight lines, which for a barrel horse is very important, to just be comfortable traveling in a straight line without being held. And I think the being held part is like a key thing, because when we're barrel racing, we're not going to be holding them together. We're going to let them go. And I feel like that's a common issue where we're training, we're constantly holding them together. And then the second we go do a run, we just give them it all. Like we give it all away and we expect them to perform. And usually they're like really lost because they're looking for you for a crutch now. And you're not giving it to them in a run. And then all of a sudden they're just really lost and losing confidence because they don't really know what they're doing, because you've kind of in a way haven't necessarily taught them. You've just kind of held them together and got them to go where you wanted, which can work when you're going slower, but when you're going faster, you have to give them that control. You have to teach them in slow work to do things on their own. And that's why I'm a huge advocate for riding one-handed, because in a run, I'm going to sit and turn and go around the barrel with one hand. And I need to teach him at all speeds. At a walk right here, I can go one-handed, push him forward now. I can go one-handed, sit back, and just with very subtle cues, get him to come around. So when you're training, having the end in mind, let's just teach them to do it right on their own at home. And then you go do a run, you can just sit there and look pretty and let your horse work. Like going out, going to show, running them is to test what you've done at home, not to like try to like hold it together constantly. It's just to like test what you've been training and see what they know and let them show you where they're at. So I went on Wednesday and he kind of showed me where he's at. I need to work on straight lines and then collecting back down. And also just like the collecting back down, I need him to like rate back down. I just need him to go ahead, gather himself, and make the turn. Well, thanks for coming. What I've been working on a lot with the right, because he likes to drop his shoulder down. So I'm picking him up, blocking this door completely, and then now adjusting my hips from now to come this way. So I'm not really doing a whole lot with my hand other than guiding him, but my hips and everything are changing. So here I will pick up with my hand, pick up that shoulder, getting him to just pick that shoulder up, then we can walk in a straight line and then come into the circle. So, I mean, it's not super pretty, like he gets his head up and just wants to get stiff, but this is so good for a horse that's kind of like that. You're just breaking up their body. Like here, I'm totally pointing him the direction I want to go, getting everything over there, then holding that shape. And now I'm going to look here, and now we're going to come around. So if you can do this at every speed, like you can do a barrel pattern one-handed. And it's all just body control of him listening to my body and him responding to it. Like it's a beautiful thing. And that will be it for this video. This is just, I guess, an intro of Jet. You can keep looking for him. But he's a nice guy. And thank you for being here. If you're still listening, I appreciate it. And, you know, like, it's fun. It's a good time. We can make nice horses and enjoy ourselves and learn about ourselves along the way. Like, that's super important. Because that's ultimately what we're here for, is like, how can we learn about ourselves through these beautiful creatures and through just having fun in barrel racing, because it's like really fun and we're super lucky to do it. So we'll be in touch soon, so don't go anywhere, and talk later. I hope it recorded is all I'm gonna say.